And she doesn't get a lot of starts, but when she does, she's usually pretty effective.
Yes, she has been.
Louisiana girl.
In the game preceding this one, which also was aired on the SEC ESPN network, LSU shut out Houston. It was a 2-hit shutout by Raylan Chafin as she was brilliant in the circle. But we move on now as Austin Peay and LSU are battling for the very first time in softball. 1 ball, 1 strike on the leadoff hitter, Hodem, the right fielder. Casanova has a 1-0 record. She threw a complete game in her only start. That was a 5-inning affair. She allowed 2 hits, walked 3 and struck out 5. But this is only her second start of the season.
I believe Casanova's the tallest Tiger. When she gets finished with that stride, that was almost a great play by Coffey.
You could see Coffey was disappointed in herself that she wasn't able to make that catch.
Yep, she kind of slapped the screen over there. Just popped out of her glove. Of course, not getting a lot of help from the visitor dugout, which they shouldn't.
Hodem swings and misses as she runs up and can't make contact.
Good drop ball by Casanova to get that first out.
What's her out pitch?
I think her drop ball. Let's see if that was indeed the drop ball. Yep. Over on that front foot. All her body weight over on that front foot tells you that's a drop ball.
Zuji swings on the first pitch, and that's
foul ball.
Foul to the right of the stripe, past first base. Morgan is hitting .333. This is only her second start. She's 1 for 3. Austin Peay has 6 hitters who are batting at least 300. And they've got a couple of 400 hitters in the lineup in Campbell, who's on deck. She's at .481. And then Appiag at the bottom of the order is hitting .450.
Beth Serena says of Emily Casanova, she works so hard every day. She redshirted as a junior. She's a junior now. She was an All-American Scholar athlete. Beth thinks she's going to get some more innings this year, and she's the one with 3 sisters whose first names start with an E.
So there's 4 gals in that family, and
right.
They all start with an E. The 2-2 pitched to Zuji. That's foul straight back this way. Austin Peay came into the tournament with a 5-1 record, but has not had any winning success here in Baton Rouge. It's 5-4 right now.
It's just the 4th time in Austin Peay's 39-year history that the Governors will be participating in an in-season tournament within the state of Louisiana. Not at LSU. Been to ULM, been in Lafayette. So anyway, yeah, the Governors, I was racking my brain thinking, I know we didn't play them in my time.
That was a really nice pitch, sinking and fading away from the touch-and-go hitter Zuji. And now after 2 strikeouts, it's Kylie Campbell. Campbell runs up, takes a cut, and can't find it.
Well, it's that changeup. You got the slapper just running through that pitch, and here it comes at 50 miles an hour, and, well, in her case, 45 miles an hour. And they just run by that pitch.
Campbell is having a heck of a season offensively. She's 13 for 27. That's .481.
And I'm surprised you didn't notice 2 things about her. I'm going to give you a chance to.
Well, one is she's not wearing batting gloves.
Yep. And then the other thing you often catch.
Well, let's see. I think it's her grip. I
yeah,
think it's a split
bing,
grip.
Bing, ding, 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 ding. We have a winner.
Thank you. Yeah, those hands are about an inch apart on the bat. You lose some power that way, but you do get a little more snap with the wrists and quicker bat movement.
I never paid attention to the hitters without gloves until you mentioned it.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Looped toward
What a
second
play.
base, and there's a diving catch by Taylor Pleasance. She laid out, came down on the bag, it appeared. She looks okay. Pleasance, who often goes to her right to make spectacular plays, that time goes to her southpaw side. Rudity in right field. The catcher is Hannah Carson. She's batting 7th. Michaela Walker is the DP. She's hitting 8th. And batting 9th and playing second base is Sierra Daniel. It's the 3rd straight start for Daniel at second base, the freshman. In the circle, Jordan Benefield. Her ERA is good.
She's going to throw a screw, a drop, a rise, and a change. Her rise ball will be at 62 miles an hour. Her change will be from 52 to 48.
Well, she's had some good numbers, a 3-1 record. This is her 5th start with 1 complete game. She's worked 19 innings. She's only allowed 15 hits. Her earned run average is 1.11.
Well,
she has walked only 4 of that and struck out 27 in 19 innings.
Well, just like her counterpart in the other dugout, her head coach, Cassie Stanfield, was a pretty good pitcher herself.
Benefield has allowed the opposition to hit only .214 collectively. Coffey smacks one the other way foul. Coffey in the tournament is 7 for 15 with 6 runs scored. And we've seen her come alive at the top of the order offensively this weekend.
Yeah, first game she started a little slow, and then there's nothing slow after that, and she gets her on that changeup. Freezes her.
So Benefield strikes out Coffey to open the game. Let's look at this pitch again. That's a beauty. And Coffey clearly was expecting something else because that pitch was right down the middle, waist high. She won't let one like that pass very often.
This is a tall pitcher also.
A strike to the center fielder, Briggs. Sierra is 3 for 15, batting 200 this weekend.
Yeah, she's not her typical Sierra, but of course she's going to contribute with bunts and moving runners.
And she's gunned down by Roberts at third base for the second out. Here's Taylor Pleasance, who is 5 for 14 this weekend with 2 doubles and a home run and a team leading 6 driven in. So LSU is getting the best that Austin Peay has to offer in Jordan Benefield. The 1-0 pitch is a changeup.
I like the way she throws that changeup. We always used to say, you know, throw your guts out on that pitch, and she does. Because it's all about the look of the pitch and the sell of the pitch.
Pleasant swings on the 2-0 pitch and dumps a base hit to left field. That one was slivered off the cap of the bat, and Pleasance, who can spray it to all fields, is aboard with a 2-out single.
All of these lefties in the LSU lineup spray the ball. They're really good oppo hitters. Stays on the ball long.
Here's LSU's Raylene Gutierrez, who has turned into Babe Ruth this year. Gutierrez, 5 for 14 in the tournament, 2 doubles and a home run. She's driven in 6, or make it 5 RBI. And there's a rope to center field for a base hit. That ball got to the center fielder on a hop in a hurry.
Everything she hits is a hard line drive.
You could hang laundry on that base hit. So a 2-out rally budding for LSU with hits by Pleasance and Gutierrez. And this will bring on Allie Newland.
With the walk-up music of Harry Connick Jr. Now, who would ever think?
Newland hits one deep to center field. This ball is carrying out to the warning track. One Tiger scores. Newland stops at second base with yet another RBI double. And she has powered her way this day for the LSU Tigers. That is her 4th double. And the Tigers rally with 2 outs and nobody on base on back-to-back hits by Pleasance and Gutierrez, and this one by Newland.
How could you not pull for Allie Newland? She makes that catch down the line, almost falls in the bullpen, runs and hugs Taylor Pleasance. She just gets the hit and just runs, and big smile on her face, giving her gear to Bryce Neal, her assistant coach at first base. You can tell she just loves the game.
She plays with joy, doesn't she?
Absolutely. She tells the story of her daddy, teaching her when she was young. Go all out. Don't leave anything on the field.
Here's Mackenzie Rudity.
Of course, her mom was a softball player. I love to say that.
Rudity's had a heck of a tournament. She's 7 for 11 with 3 doubles and a home run and a couple driven in.
Right now, there is no weak link in the LSU lineup. Yeah, some people are kind of having a bad weekend maybe, but they'll hit.
Well, Newland is now 9 for 16 with 4 doubles and 7 driven in the tournament.
I think she and Rudity are kind of quiet players. You kind of forget how good they really are.
And they both are really fine defensively as well in left and right field respectively. Here's the 3-1 offering coming to Rudity after a 2-out rally has produced a run for LSU.
There's no holes in that hitting lineup 1 through 9.
That's upstairs. Rudity's walk extends the inning. And the bases are full of Tigers with Gutierrez at third. Newland, after the RBI double, is at second base. Rudity has just walked. And this brings on Hannah Carson.
Took her a little while to get all her gear off. She was geared up to catch. Hannah Carson can bust this thing wide open.
She's 2 for 10 in the tournament with a couple of runs driven in. Strike one. The outfield is deep and straight away.
A graduate transfer from the University of Michigan.
She's been exposed to some good softball before.
I think so.
That's chopped to the first baseman. It takes a hop into her glove, and that is an out recorded by Campbell on the unassisted play at first base. But LSU, with 2 outs and nobody on base, gets a single by Pleasance, a rope to center field by Gutierrez, and an RBI double by Newland. And on the strength of that, LSU lead point, and a perfect evening in February for softball.
It's been a gorgeous day. It's been a couple of gorgeous days.
Both of them in the mid-70s the last 2 days with not a cloud in the sky.
In the capital city of Louisiana, Baton Rouge.
Where we patiently wait for crawfish to become affordable.
I don't care. I'm still eating them. I just use my paycheck.
The layaway plan, right? Remember, the tax man is coming.
Oh, don't worry. His paperwork went in.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 1-0 Tigers over Austin Peay. History being made tonight between these teams because it's the first time they've ever played in softball.
The Governors are going to play their first 3 weeks on the road They start in Alabama, Indiana, now Louisiana. They're going to get their first home game Thursday, February 29th. I would just hate that, to be on the road that long and not open up at home. I'm sure it's because of weather.
If you want to learn more about Austin Peay, the website is letsgopeay.com.
And I'm sure that's their biggest cheer.
The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Well, Emily Casanova looks comfortable in the early going, doesn't she?
Yes, she does. She's got that nice rise ball spin. And she throws effortlessly. See here. The ball just climbing the ladder. The Governors were picked to finish 4th in the Athletic Sun Conference.
This school was established in 1927 as Austin Peay Normal School, meaning it was specializing in training teachers. It became Austin Peay State University in 1967, and as you mentioned, a member of the ASUN Conference. Red and white are the colors, about 10,500 students. In Clarksville, Tennessee, which is the 5th largest city in Tennessee.
Been to Clarksville, you?
No, I haven't.
Now, the defending champ is Central Arkansas, who was very good last year.
Clarksville is in the eastern part of the state.
I knew you were going to ask me something like that. It's close to Nashville.
It's near the border of Tennessee and Kentucky. I know that. The 2-1 pitch, fouled straight back, and it'll make the net. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. LSU leading 1-0. Emily Casanova, making only her 2nd start of the season, has retired the first 5 batters. Bree Howard at the plate.
Let's go, Peay.
That's upstairs.
Did you already talk about why they're called the Governors? Did we say that on air?
We said that last game.
Okay.
Named after
That's right.
Former governor of the state. Casanova records her 2nd strikeout of the inning, her 4th of the game in 2 frames. It's Michaela Walker, the DP, batting first here in the 2nd inning.
Katarina trying to give different people opportunities as the DP.
That's off the plate a little bit wide by Benefiel. Sierra Daniel will follow, and then Danica Coffey. This is 8, 9, and 1 in Tarina's order. The 2-0 pitch is there for a strike. Jordan Benefiel got a strikeout of Coffey in the first. She has been a strikeout pitcher this year, averaging well more than a strikeout per inning. And a very small ERA, 1.11 coming into the game. It's a hitter's count, 3-1 on Walker. And she loops one to center. That will carry out far enough for Howard. And Bree Howard makes the catch.
Good screwball there. You see her step left, throw right, and just tries to tuck that ball in. Always in the leg region. Don't want to get that screwball up too much. It'll end up over the fence.
Here's Sierra Daniel, who has played well in consecutive starts at second base, both offensively and defensively.
Yep, she's caught our attention, that's for sure.
1-0 on the rookie second baseman. For the moment, she has replaced Carly Petty in the lineup. There's a strike on the outside edge.
Carly Petty getting the day off today, it seems. We haven't seen her today at all.
This will be close at first base. Safe. Daniel can really run.
How about the lefties in this lineup that can lay down almost perfect bunts?
Well, we've talked about LSU normally with 8 left-handed batters in the lineup. And they've got 8 in the lineup again tonight. A couple of times they've played 7 in the lineup, but most of the time 8 of the 9 hitters have been southpaws.
What is the fact that you talk about, that the percentage of the population that are lefties?
11%.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Beth Torina has landed in the capital of the lefties.
Yeah, it's
brought them to Baton Rouge.
8 out of 9 hitters are left-handed for LSU in this lineup. Daniel on the move. The peg is late and high, and Daniel easily steals second base. That's her first stolen base of the year.
It was yeah, she's got this base stolen all the way because there was a hesitation from the catcher.
2 strikes on Coffey, who fanned in the first. That backs her out of there. Briggs is on deck. Coffey, the senior third baseman from Richwood, Texas. And she has been a mainstay the last couple of seasons, both offensively and defensively, at third base and at the top of the order.
I wonder if she ever...
There's a liner to left. It carries out to Weinzaffel. She hit it well, but Weinzaffel was in the right place at the right time.
I wonder if Coffey ever envisioned herself as playing third.
That's a good question.
Yeah, she didn't play much her freshman year, and then all of a sudden, you know, she was asked to play third, never played it in her life. It was a little rough at first, but boy, she adapted quick after that.
Well, her instincts, her reaction is so quick.
Yeah, she's, you know, fast twitch. She's cat quick with everything she does. Got a great arm for third base.
Yes, she does. And she's developed that as well. Briggs is 0 for 1.
Yeah, you know, you rarely see a bad throw from her at third.
2 balls and no strikes. Sierra has slumped a little bit this weekend, but still hitting well over 300. 324 coming into the game.
Her stance is different from last year. She really has crunched down, made her strike zone smaller. Let's see what she does here.
She can be selective. It's 3-0. 2 outs, a runner at second base. Daniel would score on just about any kind of a base hit.
I mean, I could be wrong about this, but it looks different to me. Still got that pat on the hip for her routine of giddy up. Let's go.
Benefield to the plate. That's high. So the RBI leader on this team, Taylor Pleasance, comes to the plate with a runner at second base and a runner on first, and they both are very swift.
Like I said before, who in this lineup, well, I don't really want you to answer it, but who in this lineup can't run?
Not many.
No holes in the lineup. They can all run. Defense has been solid. Pitching is always going to be good.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Tigers are looking like the top 6 team they are right now.
Pleasance has driven in 23 runs, and one of the reasons why is a .467 average with runners in scoring position. That's whopping. Pleasance had a base hit and scored in the first. She's 6 for 15 now in the tournament. A hot shot. It's off the shortstop's glove. It rolls into left center field. The Tigers add a run to their total. Pleasance made the big turn, but nobody's behind her to cover up.
How about
she's
that?
able to get back to first base. Another base hit for Pleasance and another run batted in.
How about that great base running by Daniel? She got out of the way at that laser and kind of blocked the shortstop's vision, but didn't interfere.
Nope, everything legal.
Yep, but just enough to cause, I'm sure, a little problem for her.
And that was a rocket shot off the bat of Pleasance.
Absolute laser.
24 runs batted in now, averaging 2 a game. And here is Gutierrez. And the Tigers have scored 1 in the first and 1 in the second.
It looks like they're going to actually let Pleasance run. Usually gets pinch run for, but so early in the game.
Briggs and Pleasance are on the corners. Gutierrez had a rope to center field last time. Hits this one high and deep. It's out to the wall and caught a step away from the left center field wall by Bree Howard. But LSU again rallies for a run. Sheridan leading it off, the DP. And she'll be followed by Weinzaffel and also Appiag. Casanova has thrown a lot of strikes in the early going. Sheridan is only 1 for 11 so far this year, and that was a single. This is her 4th start and her 7th appearance. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And I tell you, every Tiger on the field and in the dugout is pulling for Emily Casanova. You can just tell. They're so happy for her.
Well, she has not pitched a lot in her LSU career, but she's been dogged determined to expand her role.
And works her tail off every day to make herself better and her team better.
The 1-2 pitch is lifted back over up on the roof. Now, it's not going to stay there. This is not a level roof. It's going to pitch back toward the parking lot. And if you're in the right place at the right time, you can get your hands on a lot of souvenirs.
See the little kids running to get the ball.
Oh, it's great. I'm always intrigued, Yvette, by the parking lot culture. You know, the children out there, and there's usually an adult or two just to watch things, but you know, those kids have their own society when it comes to collecting foul balls. And then you see some trades going on. You know, how about this cap for the ball? Or
and then taking it to a exquisite level, how about the canoes and the boats in San Francisco for the, you know, the Giants games?
Where in right field in the bay. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, it is. Got the kayaks out there.
I'd be in one.
You'd be fishing, though.
Fishing for balls.
And they have those long-handled nets.
It's so cool.
Now, they don't see the game from there. You understand?
I know.
They just wait for a ball to come sailing
for
over the right field wall. And then the race is on. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Grounded slowly toward Daniel. She makes the play for out number 1.
The race is on, sort of like, you know, when the Specks are chasing the birds and all the boats are chasing the birds too. Okay, there's a game going on. We need to stop talking about fishing.
Well, you better explain to some folks what you mean by specs.
speckled trout.
Sure. But people at Austin Peay don't know that.
That's true. Sorry about that. Well, no, they've got that trout in those clear water.
Ruderty waits for this one to come out of the heavens.
And they're beautiful streams.
Winds Zaffel, quickly lifts a fly ball to right.
Tennessee is a beautiful state.
It is, and Kentucky right to the north is a continuation, so to speak, with even more mountains and Mammoth Cave and some really interesting topography.
We're trying to bring rain here with these fly balls.
This one hanging in the air like a box kite, and then finally comes down. Mackenzie Ruderty and Hannah Carson for the Tigers against Jordan Benefiel. LSU has reached her for 5 base hits and a couple of runs. She's walked 2 and struck out 1. Two and 0.
I mean, really, what are we all going to do next year when we have to write all kind of different names in the lineup?
There will be a severe turnover in this LSU roster next year after all these veterans are moving on.
But none more sorry than the head lady at third base.
Well, it's inevitable, isn't it?
8 senior, yep.
It's not like you wake up and then wonder, oh my goodness, all these players aren't coming back. This ball might not come back. Way back it goes. And it's in the bleachers, just out of the reach of the leaping center fielder Howard. The 3rd home run of the year for Newland. You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye.
Once again, we don't talk about her enough. Allie Newland.
Well, she
player.
doubled in a run in the 1st inning. She homers here in the 3rd.
And Lynn, we don't talk about this enough, but last year she hit 400 in SEC play. 400 in SEC play.
And she did it rather quietly, if that's possible. Newland has just homered for the 3rd time.
I don't know why it's quiet.
LSU with 1-1-1 in the first 3 innings.
And here comes the other Audi.
LSU gets a base hit from Mackenzie Ruderty. She walked in the 1st, and she promptly grounds one up the middle for a base hit. Newland is having a very good day and night. In the first game today, a shutout of Houston by LSU. Newland had a pair of doubles and 2 RBI. In the nightcap, she's had an RBI double and a home run.
You think she's going to go to bed tonight sleeping, with a smile on her face before she goes to sleep?
Well, she won't settle for singles. Everything is extra base hits.
And, she and Ruderty, they're not exactly, tall in stature. They're not the biggest women on this team, but gosh, they generate such power with those legs and from the ground up.
Newland was given the green light on a 3-0 and lifted it into the right center field bleachers. I thought for a moment that Howard might make a spectacular catch.
It was a phenomenal effort, and I thought she had it when she came down.
1 ball, 1 strike on Carson. Ruderty at first base, following a ground single up the middle. Carson bounced out to the first baseman last time. She flinches but does not offer. It's a strike, though.
Yeah, she had a chance there to really bust the game open.
1-1-1 for LSU in the first 3 frames. 7 hits now for the Tigers. And Yvette today and tonight against Houston and now Austin Peay. LSU has not allowed a run. That's 10 innings of softball.
Well, pitching has come back to normal after the Clearwater tournament. Of course, the competition is a little step down. That tournament was filled with top 10, top 20 teams.
There's one out in California in progress as well, right? The Mary Nutter tournament?
Yep, that's a phenomenal tournament. But kind of the same effects where the ball just kind of flies out of the park at an abnormal pace.
Carson draws a base on balls, still nobody out. Ruderty is at second base, Carson behind her. And here's Michaela Walker, who has flied to center field. Michaela is a sophomore from Marietta, Georgia.
A lot of good softball played there. I know I've said that before, but national tournaments held there. Still got a pretty good crowd here. It was packed this afternoon.
Well, people just enjoying wonderful sunshine. Lots of good company.
Grass is green. You're going to have to start mowing your grass here pretty soon, dude.
Oh, mine is still dormant.
Well, that's true. Well, so is mine, but it's right around the corner. You like to cut your grass?
I do.
I love to cut grass.
You know why? I mean, it's not that I'm enamored with it.
It's mindless.
And you can see where you've been, and you can see where you need to go.
Yep. Are you particular about your stripes? You know, I try to do it like the softball field.
No, I'm not that particular.
I am.
No.
Of course, I say I love to cut grass. I ride.
I don't. Nor is it a self-propelled mower.
Well, good for you.
Say that with conviction.
Did she beat it out? Yes, she did.
Daniel is a blazer, isn't she?
She is. You know, you might have another, not jitterbug. What did you call Griggs?
Oh.
Spinnerbait.
Yeah.
We're going to have to give her a nickname, though. Not spinnerbait. It's like
well, we had buzzbait.
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner's a good one.
Lure. It's a lure. I caught a little fish on it the other day.
Roadrunner is a good one for her. Here's another Roadrunner. But it was buzzbait as well.
Buzzbait.
Coffee has struck out and lined to left.
Gone are the slappers who used to just touch it and fly. Now they hit the ball out of the park.
Coffee started her career batting .226. And then watch out. There's another line drive base hit into right center field. One Tiger scores. Here comes another Tiger. Coffee is on her way to second base. Here comes another Tiger to the plate. The throw is very high, and Coffee's going to advance on the overthrow. That's her third double of the year, and then she saw the ball go sailing over the catcher's head and moved up.
Did you see Roadrunner take off from first base? She never broke stride.
And the Tigers are circling the bases. 3 come in. And LSU has 4 in the inning. But I was about to say that after Coffey's .226 average in her first year, .379, .392 last year, above 300 at this point this year, and a career average of that, despite that very slow start, of .351. She's been one of the best leadoff hitters in the country for the last 2 years.
Can't keep a good girl down. She's too talented.
Here's Briggs, who has bounced out and walked. Coffee is at third, 1 out.
I know I told you the story of I had a 4-time All-American, and twice she started off 0 for 20.
That's an oddity.
In 2 seasons.
That is an oddity.
and then still became an All-American because she just turned it on at some point.
2 balls and no strikes on Briggs. Coffey's going to get, 2 RBI out of that? We'll check with the official scorer in just a moment. 3-0 on Briggs with Pleasance on deck. Tigers lead it 6-0. We play in the third against Austin Peay. And there is ball 4. So Briggs, in back-to-back plate appearances, has drawn a walk. Pleasance has singled twice. The last one produced a run.
Tigers are on the verge of course, we got to go 5 innings, but on the verge of a run rule here.
They would have to get an 8-run advantage.
Well, they're at 6.
On 9 hits and no errors. Here's the 1-0 to the All-America Pleasance. Oh, she would like to have that one back.
I think these Tigers are having a lot of fun right now. They're unbeaten, playing well, hitting the ball.
Well, you made a point in the first game that I thought was so appropriate, and that is, unlike the last couple of years, say, there are no holes in this lineup offensively at this point. Now, it could change, but every one of these Tigers 1 through 9, and 8 of them normally are left-handed batters, every one of them has contributed on a steady basis so far.
I know all of my World Series teams, I'd go 1 through 9. I was like, yep, we got it covered. And then those years where it's like too many outs in this lineup.
Well, you had 5 World Series teams, so you had it covered for a while.
But when there's too many outs in the lineup. And it's the old axiom, if you hit, you're going to play.
The 2-2 pitch.
Goodbye.
Smash deep to right field. Way back it goes. It's off the scoreboard. It's a home run for Taylor Pleasance, her 4th of the season. She and Gutierrez lead the team now with 4, and that ball was headed to another parish the moment it left the bat.
Yeah, it was definitely another parish. Not a county. I mean, when it left the bat, we're going to have a pitching change here.
That is 4 more runs batted in for Taylor Pleasance. And in this tournament, Taylor Pleasance has now knocked in 10 runs. And she is 8 for 17 this weekend in the LSU tournament. And the Tigers have 7 in the third with a new pitcher coming in for Austin Peay.
I think when you said Pleasance would like to have that pitch back in the very next pitch, she just unloaded.
Samantha Miner is the new pitcher. She is a 5'8" junior from Highland, Illinois. So Miner replaces Benefiel.
Curve, drop, change. Fastest pitch is 60. Her changeup's at 37. She's going to have her pitches are going to be floaty.
Benefiel came into this game, if you'll remember, with some really gaudy numbers, a very low batting average against, a tiny earned run average of 1.11, and a significant number of innings in which she had struck out more than 1 an inning easily, but no such luck against LSU today.
But she's running into a buzzsaw. LSU is on fire.
9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Tigers through 3 at-bats, and still some to go here with 1 out.
8
Newland
seniors.
has homered in the inning. Rudity has singled. Carson has walked and scored. Daniel with an infield hit. She has scored. Coffey with a double. and a whole lot of RBI. Briggs with a walk, Pleasance with a 3-run home run.
Well, 8 seniors on this team. They are just player-led. Beth Serena says, I mean, they go through practice and the seniors are leading the way. They're helping the new ones. The same verbiage is coming out of their mouth that the coaches have said for 4 years to them. So,
well, this is the 9th batter to come to the plate in Gutierrez. She has singled and fly to center. That's a nice off-speed pitch for a strike by Minor. That was a major pitch.
that was a good one, Lynn. Boom, boom.
Yeah, that's worth a rim shot. The Tigers are cruising over Austin Peay at the moment.
Who will finally be going home to play on their own field next week. Trying to stay on that outside corner and just missing it.
So Gutierrez draws the walk from the new pitcher Samantha Minor. And here is Allie Newland, who already has doubled in a run and also has hit a home run, her 3rd of the year. So Newland today only has 3 doubles and a home run.
Have we batted around?
Yep.
How many times you say that?
The Tigers have popped open a couple of cans of spinach here in the 3rd and played like Popeye. And they're still batting. The outfield is very deep, and this one leaves the yard, but it yanked foul.
I think the Tigers are just looking at each other and like swinging out of their shoes right now. Their eyes are so big.
Whatever you can do, I can do better.
Oh, yeah, their eyes are so big they want a piece of the action.
A ball and 2 strikes on Newland. There's
That's
the change, and
good
a really
pitch.
nice one.
Good pitch. She had Newland really leaning forward.
But that's the mark of a good recovery by Newland as
Yep.
well. And you're right, she was off balance, there's no doubt.
And
That
still
was a
got-
heck of a changeup, and yet she was still able to spoil it.
You're right. Most people would have, struck out on that.
Allie Newland, you might forget, was also able to go behind the plate in times of need for the Tigers last year.
And I bet she never, ever said one word. Just, Coach, where's the gear? Coach's dream.
The 1-2 pitch. Ripped on a line. The throw back to first. Bobbled by the first baseman. That one was hit solidly. Newland lines out to Zugi and then fired it over to Campbell, and the ball was popped out of her glove, and by the time she grabbed it.
And Zugi made a great throw. She
did.
sidearmed it to get rid of it as fast as she could. She had a double play there, but the ball just popped out, as you said.
Sydney Peterson is going to grab a bat and hit from the right side.
Now, we haven't seen Sydney Peterson in a year. She was hurt, red-shirted, and she plays second base. They got some depth in the infield. And she played a very capable second base.
So she bats for Rudity, who had walked and singled and scored. Ball 1 to Sydney Peterson. Two and 0 to Peterson. Sydney is a sophomore from Stockton, California. She tore her labrum and missed last year.
Ouch. That's got to hurt.
A couple of years ago, Yvette, she started 50 games.
Yep, she's playing the regular second baseman.
Last year, she played in one game. Or, excuse me, this year. She's played in one game after missing 2023.
Well, they got some talent at second base now. Peay, Daniels.
Yeah, they can all do it. There's a base on balls. Oh, Peterson.
Beth is going to empty her bench here with pinch hitters.
Gutierrez is now at second base. Peterson walks. And this is Jaden Lano.
And Walker doing a good job of sharing information about the pitcher. Although I don't know if Walker's seen her yet. But she's paying attention.
Runners at second and first, 2 outs. And Lano at the plate. Jaden is a freshman from Marietta, Georgia. There are a lot of college softball players from that area.
They play a lot of good softball in that area.
She helped her high school team win 2 Georgia State championships.
And if I'm not mistaken, unless they change, I've been out of the game for a little bit here recruiting, they play in the fall.
Well,
high school.
Lano is not a big batter. I mean, she is slight of build, but guess what? She had 13 home runs last year.
When she came up, the last time we saw her swing away.
She hit .624 as a high school senior and had 13 home runs.
There's a few states that play high school softball in the fall. Georgia, Oklahoma, Iowa plays in the summer. One of the coolest things I've ever seen. Iowa high school softball in the middle of the cornfields, and it's almost like a league of their own or
Very
whatever.
romantic.
You just see the cars and the dust. Everybody's coming through the cornfields to go to the games.
Ground ball to the second baseman. It's turned into an out by Zuji, but a big.
Do we have a new hitter? Yep.
That's Jaya Herring. Herring batting for the first time. Casanova to the plate. A dribbler to the right side. Daniel jumps on it, and there's out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. Emily Casanova just cruising along.
There has not been a base runner for Austin Peay.
Yeah. Jinxing her.
Second baseman number 9, Morgan Zucchi.
Casanova has thrown 10 first pitches. She's faced 10 batters. 9 times she has flipped strikes out of those 10 first pitches.
Got to make the pitching coach happy about that. That'll get you more innings.
Here's Zuge. It spells Z-U-E-G-E. And that's the first time I've seen a last name like that. Morgan Zuge.
Yeah, they have a few tongue twisters for us. Of course, they would say that about our names.
Morgan drops that one into right field, a solid single. And that's the first base runner.
Told you.
Don't scold me.
I know it's your job,
Don't scold me.
but the coaching me is still
I know,
too
I know.
much.
Plus, you are super superstitious.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the first hit of the game, the first base runner of the game. And the pitch is high and tight to Kylie Campbell. She was robbed of a base hit on that diving play by Pleasance earlier in the game. That came in the first inning. Now, Yvette, I'm going to start now because we've got all kind of scores pouring in from all over the country.
Let's hear it.
All right, tell me your reaction if anything grabs your attention. Georgia over Virginia Tech. Now, those are two ranked teams.
Yeah, Virginia Tech's good.
And Virginia Tech ranked 21, Georgia number 3 with a lot of offense.
Oh, yeah,
but
they can hit.
7-5 the final Georgia. And then 10-1 Georgia over Radford. Kentucky beat Akron 7-5, and also Monmouth 6-1. So Kentucky wins twice. Florida bombed Lafayette 8-0, and then 21-0 over Colgate. Pleasance backs up. She's under the pop-up, and there's the second out. Ole Miss outscored Miami 10-8. That's Miami of Ohio.
I was about to say, Miami doesn't have a softball team.
The one in Ohio does.
Yep, that one.
Auburn got beat 4-2 by Northern Iowa, and then came back to win against Southeast Missouri 13-5. Casanova to Roberts, it's high. One of the few first pitch misses. South Alabama beat South Carolina 5-2.
Good win for South Al.
And then South Carolina came back to shut out UMass 5-0. Arkansas 7-0 over Illinois State and 15-4 over Wichita State. Alabama beat Bradley 10-1, and in the 5th inning leads Northern Alabama 4-3.
Wow, 4-3 against. Don't you know that would make Northern Alabama's year?
Yeah, it would. Mississippi State defeated Fullerton 4-2.
State's better. They putting up some wins.
And they are about to get started against Fresno State, is Mississippi State.
Fresno State won a national championship one year.
Tennessee 6-1 over Oregon State. That's a final. And then in the 3rd inning, Tennessee is leading UCF 2-0. Here's an old-fashioned score. Kansas 1, Texas A&M nothing.
Ooh.
Texas A&M and North Dakota State are playing in the nightcap, but that game has been delayed. And then Missouri is at Baylor, and that's going to start in just a little bit. So you're up to date in the SEC.
Now those Missouri, Baylor, that they're out in California, so a lot of those scores might be coming from California.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Macy Roberts at the plate. She has flied to left in her only other plate appearance. Ground ball to Coffey. Short hops it. Comes up firing. Low throw. Gutierrez, as she normally does.
She's money.
She pulls it from the dirt and to wrap up the tournament in a 1-game set. And I think they've got Boise State tomorrow, don't they? We'll see.
Boise State may already be on a plane home.
Well, they might, yeah.
But
no, it might be Houston. I think it is Houston.
no, they wouldn't be on a plane home now.
No, Houston, I think, and Austin Peay play tomorrow. We'll check that. We'll get it for you for sure. Yes, it is Houston and Austin Peay tomorrow. That'll be the only game of the tournament. And the Tigers are trying to go to 4-0 and remain unbeaten on the year. 9 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 0-1-1 for Austin Peay. Here's Michaela Walker. She pokes the 1-1 pitch foul. But so far, Yvette, 11 innings have been pitched in scoreless fashion. Raylan Chafin went the distance and threw a 2-hitter against Houston. And now it is Emily Casanova.
Oh, nice changeup to get her. I think that ball bounced on the ground. She should be running.
But you're right, a really fine off-speed pitch. Watch this.
Did it? No, she caught it. Not sure why she threw it to first.
That pitch just hung there, though, and then the bottom dropped out of it. Here's Daniel. She's been impressive this weekend, getting some starts.
Just like a meatball, just falling off the table.
Absolutely.
Rolling and falling off the table.
Let's say crawfish ball instead of meatball. I've got crawfish on my mind.
I can tell.
But I would need a loan to buy a sack.
Why you gotta buy a sack? Just eat a couple of pounds. Which I know astounds people when we say we can eat 5 pounds of crawfish.
Easily.
But they think it's really 5 pounds, you know.
No, it's
the
about
tails,
a pound and a half.
Right. The tails don't weigh that much. And that's what you eat.
I want you to look at my little finger on my right hand. You see it's bent, right?
Yeah,
I purposefully
not
broke
pretty.
it so I could hook it. You know, that's how you dig the fat out of the head. That came as a result of a basketball injury.
Oh.
Jammed it, kept playing. You know, didn't want to go to the doctor. Yeah, pulled on it. It didn't come out. I said, well, you know, I can get it fixed later. No, it never.
How long ago was that?
A long time ago. There's a dump into left field for a base hit. How good is Sierra Daniel at the bottom of the order? She's 3 for 3 tonight.
We keep saying she's impressive.
Abigail Savoy is going to bat.
Now, is it Savoy or Savoy?
I'm thinking Savoy.
It's Savoy. You and your Mason-Dixon line.
No. That's Savoy.
Yeah, you said Savoy.
I know that. And that was my mistake. I didn't mean to say that. I've heard it pronounced that way.
Ever since you moved to Alabama, you've lost it.
They don't have Boudin over there either. Or Cracklands. Savoy. Abigail.
Another lefty. Go figure.
Oh, it's amazing. Not only are there 8 left-handed batters in the starting lineup, there's 5 or 6 more on the bench.
Yeah, everything she pulls off the bench is a lefty. Not so much anymore, but I could just remember. I guess there weren't that many lefties. I just remember pitchers looking in the dugout and saying, another lefty. But they're pretty commonplace now. That changeup just floats.
And that's a good pitch on which to run because
Absolutely.
It took a little bit longer to get to the plate.
I don't know if they guessed right, if Beth picked the signal, but what a perfect pitch to run on.
Well, you know, Daniel, when she gets on base, is not static over there. She's been on the move a lot. Savoy, wait, she's got an RBI opportunity. And she sends one into the night. This is deep to left field. Way, way back it goes.
How about that?
You can pucker up and kiss that baby goodbye. And the Tigers are ebullient as they rush out to congratulate young Abigail Savoy.
Doesn't get very many chances, and I'm sure her mom and daddy and her grandma and her grandpa and everybody else from right down the road, well, I hope they're here. She doesn't get very many chances, and she just parked that one over the fence.
Savoy blasts one into the night over the left field wall. The sophomore from Notre Dame High School, Branch, Louisiana. It'll take you a while to find it on the map, but it didn't take Savoy very long to cross the plate after ripping it into the night, her first home run.
Well, if you go on I-10 West and you're going to Texas, going across the country, you're going to pass by it, through it.
That is her first base hit as a Tiger.
How awesome is that? And the entire dugout just erupted and came out.
So hit number 1 is a home run for Savoy. And LSU leads at 11-0. Here's Bedell, Savannah Bedell. We saw her get an at-bat last night.
Classmate of Macy Bergeron. I think that was probably her family that we just saw.
The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. 11-0 Tigers. Right now, LSU is in order to end this game in the top of after the top of the 5th, unless Austin Peay can get under the 8-run disadvantage mark. 11-0. LSU leading. And Yvette, certainly the offensive performance today and throughout the entire tournament for the most part has been impressive. But I still go back to 11 consecutive shutout innings now today between the two LSU starters.
Been impressive. I mean, it's hard to shut out any team.
Samantha Miner is ready, the 1-2 pitch. That's fouled off on a line into the net, down on the left side. It's been a good day for the Tigers so far. They try to remain undefeated. LSU is 12 up and none down.
Oh, good effort.
That ball gets down on the dirt despite the effort by Zuji. And that's one that just wound up in the right place at the right time for Bedell.
Just a CNI single there.
Just a little bloop.
Lynn, we'll have a good competition and some good games next weekend.
Yeah, in fact, LSU will be very busy next weekend. We'll be on the air for 3 consecutive doubleheaders. That'll be against Illinois and San Diego State.
San Diego State, very good team.
And then against San Diego State and McNeese.
McNeese, another good Louisiana team.
And 2-time Southland Conference tournament champion. And then McNeese and Louisiana Tech. So Illinois, San Diego State, McNeese, and Louisiana Tech will be opponents of LSU next weekend over the course of 3 consecutive doubleheaders. Here's Townsend, who's going to hit for LSU. Maya Townsend. Guess which side of the plate she bats from, Yvette?
I mean, really, how many righties are in that dugout?
Not a lot. That's high and tight. Well, in the Maravich Center across the street, it's halftime in men's basketball. Mississippi State leads by 7 over the Tigers after LSU coming off the win against Kentucky. But it's 40-33 in men's basketball. Mississippi State has a 7-point lead over the Tigers.
Got to build on that momentum.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 7 in the third, 2 here in the fourth. LSU on the verge of a victory in 5 innings. Austin Peay has 3 outs to get something done in the top of the 5th. Townsend is a sophomore from Morris, Alabama. There's the change. Oh, that's a great one. That is a great one. That's just hung there like a puff of smoke and then evaporated. Giglio in center field. So Briggs has been replaced by Giglio, and Pleasance has been replaced by McKee at shortstop. And meanwhile, Emily Casanova is working on a 1-hit shutout.
Emily has been very good.
And Mackenzie
Obviously.
Duke is the pinch hitter. One ball, no strikes. Casanova has yielded but 1 base hit. That was a clean single into center field by the second baseman, Zuji. She has struck out 4. They came in the first 2 innings. And there's been that one base runner, no walks for Casanova, but she's behind 3-0 on the pinch hitter. That one gets a little piece of the outside corner. Raylan Chafin threw a shutout against Houston in the first game today for LSU. And Casanova is trying to duplicate that. She's come back to make the count full.
She's got the home crowd cheering for her.
That's a chop over the head of the third baseman, Coffey, who had no chance to get it. And a clean single off the bench by Duke as she used the hard infield to punch it over the head of Coffey on the bounce.
Yep. Ball had a huge bounce over Coffey's head. Base hit all the way. See if Casanova can work from the start here.
So Duke comes off the bench to collect only the second base hit, and here's Bree Howard. Coffey snatches it to second for one, to first. Safe on a close play. Howard just beat the throw. "5-4" on the putout at second base. And here is Skylar Sheridan.
Daniel just a little bit more arm strength.
The replay showed that Howard did beat the throw. That's twice the Tigers have come close to turning a double play.
Hard hit balls that.
Well, you gotta have the hard hit ball in this game.
Absolutely. Can't have dribblers. Both balls were hard enough to potentially turn double plays.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Sheridan up for only the second time. She grounded out to Daniel. This ball
That's a base hit.
Bounced solidly through the left side for a base hit, as Skylar Sheridan punched it with some authority between Coffey and the new shortstop. That's McKee at short for Pleasance. And Gilio in for Briggs in center field. Here's Weinzaffel. She has fly to right.
I dare you to say that 5 times fast.
It's spelled Weinzapfel, but pronounced Weinzaffel. The P is silent.
The Tiger outfield has definitely shifted to the left side.
Yeah, there's a huge gap in right center field. You see all the space there between Gilio and Ruderty.
The ball goes there, they could run for days.
The 1-1 pitch. A floater, and it misses 2-1.
And once again, a great pitch to a slapper running through that pitch, but she missed.
LSU is 2 outs away from a victory over Austin Peay.
To stay undefeated on the young season.
That's chopped right back to Casanova. She'll flip it over to third for the force there.
You know, if you're not 6'2", you're probably not going to make that play.
That's true.
I think we have a pinch hitter here.
And it is going to be Ashlyn Delaney. So LSU is 1 out away from its second shutout victory today. The first one was against Houston. It's 11-0 in the nightcap against Austin Peay in the first game these teams have ever played in softball against each other. 2 outs, 2 on.
Kind of hard to believe that they've never crossed paths.
The pitch. Ball 1. Casanova relies on a lot of finesse.
Spins the ball well.
The 1-0. Slammed foul.
Yeah,
LSU is closing in on its 13th victory without a defeat.
You know, this is the tallest pitching staff at LSU since probably Hoover and Waljasper.
Mm-hmm. The 1-1 pitch is
Ooh,
outside.
gets away from.
That's going to be an error on the transfer.
She just dropped it on the transfer.
So Hannah Carson, while she was trying to throw the ball back to the pitcher, lost the ball. That's going to be an error, allowing the base runners to move. And here we go. Lifted foul out of play. You know, you talk about the size and the growing size of softball pitchers. The same trend is true in baseball. Usually the biggest players on the team in baseball are pitchers.
You're right. I mean, how big was Skeens? Is Skeens.
The 2-2.
Oh, what a pitch.
A changeup ends the game, and Emily Casanova throws the shutout, a 3-hitter, as the Tigers win it 11-0. They go to 13-0 on the season, and this was a game punctuated by a lot of firsts. Casanova with the shutout on a 3-hitter. Savoie coming off the bench, her first hit